Hey, we just came out of the US vice presidential debate. I thought those two gentlemen represented what America is. They were gentlemen. They argued on issues. There were no name calling. There was no yelling. And that was great. Even though they had their own hiccups, but I thought it went well. And we missed those good days when debates were this until Donald Trump came. Now, Donald Trump has been talking about immigration. That's one thing I picked about J.D. Vance is trying to defend Donald Trump's policies. But I saw a man struggling, and being a lawyer, he was just trying to defend his client, even if he was not right, but he had to defend Donald Trump. Donald Trump has been lying about immigration as if he has a way out. He talks big, he only wants NHS electorate to vote for him. He was there for 4 years. He didn't do anything. Now, I want us to listen to what Trump was talking about this.
So why don't you do it? Then she says about a bill. It was such a bad bill, this bill that she talks about. You know, it's a fake bill. It was put in by the Democrats with a couple of Republicans that got duped and put before. Nobody wanted to vote. I wish I had that ability, that I was the one that said, don't vote for it. But I do have a certain say, but I would have never voted for that bill. It was so bad. It would have allowed everybody to become a citizen. It would have allowed at least 2 million people to come into our country, and very rough ones. It was a terrible bill, but they use that as an excuse. The fact is, all she has to do is go back to the White House, wake up Sleepy Joe, it'll be 4 o'clock, so he's gone to bed, and say, Joe, get your ass down here. I'm going to ask you to do me a favor because I'm losing in the election. Sign this piece of paper. What is the piece of paper? It says to the Border Patrol, close the border. 3 words. Like I did.
It's amazing how Trump has been lying about this border, as if it's something which is easily like that done. This is a man who has sworn the oath of office, and he's saying that it's a matter of working to say Joe to sign the bill. The bill has to go through Congress, has to go through the Senate before it's sent to the president for approval. That is Trump talking of a ticket, and yet he did sign that bill when he was in office. That's one of the irony of Trump lying to people that like he did. What did he do? He didn't do anything. The really problem in America, immigration, the really problem is that there is escalating cases in backlog, lack of workers, and missing global talent. And then there is desperate people taking dangerous route to come to the United States as a safe haven. And that is really the problem which is haunting the country. Now, this is the position that I want the people to know between Trump and Kamala Harris. Trump is saying that he will be tough. He will do a tougher crackdown on immigration than he carried out in his first term. How? He has not even explained. He will finish building the wall, and there will be mass deportation of immigrants. He will push the military and the law enforcement to deport millions of undocumented immigrants across the country. That is what he talked when he went the first time. But he did not do it. What Kamala Harris said, he wants a bipartisan bill that Trump helped defeat this year. That measure would fund the wall give the president new powers to restrict border crossing and modestly expand legal immigration. This will appear balancing. Why is Kamara? Kamara is speaking like a person who understands the law, who has sworn to uphold the constitution of this country. You can't do anything without the law on your side. That's what Kamara is saying, that you have to have that power, which the bipartisan bill, which Trump told his colleagues not to support. Now, one thing we have to understand about asylum process: a person can seek asylum at port of entry or attempt to seek asylum by crossing between ports of entry and presenting to a border patrol agent. In the South Mexican border, we have port of entry: San Ysidro and Calexico in California, Nogales in Arizona, El Paso, Eagle Pass, Laredo, Hidalgo, and Brownfield in Texas. Those are port of entry where somebody, if you are running from to this country, you have to go there and then you apply for asylum. Others don't apply for asylum, they pass through. I want people to understand that the US immigration is in chains. Even many presidents have tried before. This one, we are still in chains. We are in chain for two things: the Immigration and Nationality Act and the 1951 United Nations Refugee Convention. As a country and as a president, when he signs, he carries the hand to swear that he will protect, abide by the Constitution of the Republic of the United States. You have to uphold the Constitution. Even all of the territorial agreements, international agreements of this country. So from here, why the two have made this very difficult? This key migration dilemma is that in 1951 United Nations Refugee Convention provides that the contracting states shall not impose penalties on account of their illegal entry or presence on refugees who, coming directly from a territory where their life or freedom was threatened by persecution, enter or are present in their territory without authorization, provided they present themselves without delay to the authorities and show good cause for their illegal entry or presence. That is a UN convention where US is a part to. So it clearly says that if any person from any other country comes to the border to the US, you are supposed to allow that person without any penalties. So if somebody walks through the Mexican border and is caught by the authorities, he is not supposed to be sent away. And upon that, in the US Constitution, there is Immigration and Nationality Act, which is clear that any person who is physically present in the United States or who arrives in the United States, whether or not at the designated port of entry, irrespective of other states, that may apply for asylum. That is very clear. So any president has to follow this. You cannot come up one day and put your own laws. So when Trump lied to people on the first time in 2016 to come to office, when he reached there, he found that his hands were tied. He could not just deport people like anywhere like that. You put them on buses. Any person, the only way somebody can be deported from the United States of America is he has to be taken to court. You can arrest a person if you have a probable cause. You will have to face an immigration judge. And the immigration judge is the only one who will give an order of removal. And if he appeals, he has a right to stay in the country until his appeal is heard. After that order, that is when he is determined to be deported. So this idea that he's talking that when he becomes president, he will use law enforcement and the military to round up people, that is, he will find all of those stopped in the courts. So Trump, when he came to office, he used the policy of metering. Metering was already started with Obama administration, where they were limiting the number of people coming through the port of entry. So they would cap a number of people coming in. But still, that was found to be illegal. When it was taken to court, it was found to be illegal. You cannot meter the amount of people unless they change the constitution. You cannot just do that. That's one of the things they found out. And then he was talking tough, but he was not doing much. The only thing which helped him is in 2020, during the COVID pandemic. And they invoked Title 42, which was enacted in 1893, that you can deport people, you can cross the border and prevent the people from coming or deport them because of health issues. And because the pandemic was, you can deport anybody, prevent people from coming to the United States because of health security issues. And that is what favored him, that he put that in force, that now anybody who was coming in could be deported immediately to Mexico or whatever, and then they closed the border, nobody was coming, there were no planes coming in, and also the borders were closed. The President of the United States will not just come out of the blue to cross the border unless there is a security issue, and it has to go through Congress. So what Trump is talking about is totally lying. There is nothing he's going to do unless he allows the bipartisan immigration bill to pass through. Then he can have some powers, which was giving the president some powers to close the border when there's a cap which has been reached. So let not people take it for granted that Trump is going to do anything with the border. He's not going, he does not have any issue, and he seems not to understand how the law works. Or he understands how the law works, he only wants to use it talking about you can't demean people. And I let Trump know, when you are demeaning that they are coming to take our jobs, even you, your great grandfather, came to this country, you're an immigrant. It doesn't matter whether you came with Mayflower or what, or you are an immigrant. Trump is trying to soil the people. But let this be known that Trump does not have any solution to the border. He is only using the immigration. That's why he prevented that from passing, because he wants to use it to win the election. So be wise and listen that he does not have a policy. He does not even understand what he's going to do with the border. You know, this is the reason why in a border town, they were just showing this. It's so funny. This is this was a 43-foot tall naked statue resembling Trump displayed somewhere in Arizona near the border. That kind of caricature is because people are tired, sick and tired of the things Trump is talking about. You just put caricatures which don't really mean anything. So when we talk about this issue of the border, this is a border which is very long from California all the way from California all the way the Grand River down. That's a large border to put across. I wish when the American defeated the Mexican, they could have put the border down here. It could have been even shorter for them. But they did not. So when all of these things are happening in the border, we need a robust. Nobody wants people just to walk in like that. Nobody wants to see this happen. This is like Tijuana. Yes, you have a port of entry where people are, like Tijuana here. It's a busy port of entry. If you see one of the pictures which was taken in this region, where people are lining up to go and attend to asylum cases, they are in big numbers. So what happens when these numbers, when some of them do not get to go to see the port of entry, they just do an illegal crossing to the border. Then they would be arrested by the border agents, and then they would be taken to custody. That is, we need an immigration policy which will work well. The many people are coming from the border. They are coming from most of these countries: Ecuador, Colombia, Venezuela, Guatemala, Mexico, Cuba, because of gang violence, political instability, and economic issues. We don't want to treat people as if we don't care. People, when they come in, there is a reason. So I want you to watch that Trump does not have any solution, but we need to talk about which solution is better for this country. But we don't want to treat people inhumanly as if we don't care.